Alright guys, today we are going to do a carburetor on a troy-bilt tb200. It's got a 625EX Briggs and Stratton motor on it. Job's not too hard. These are actually very simple carburetors to do. And I'm going to go through it step by step, show you exactly what you need to do. Any of the parts you need, I'll put in the description below. I'll put a whole carburetor, air filter, and that's pretty much only things you'll need for this. Is either the carburetor or the air filter. There is some acid that I use. It's a trick that I use. I'll put that in the description too. Just make sure you wear eye cover and vinyl gloves when you do it. Take the air filter cover off. Remove the air filter. And this is nice and brand new, so we don't have to replace it, but I will put the new one in the description below for you. Alright, so we're going to start off with the 8 millimeters. You got 1, 2 right there to take off. And keep the 8 millimeter on. Don't go to the next ones, because we're going to take these 3 off as well to remove the recoil so that we can get to, everything underneath here. But for right now, you got 8 millimeter here, 8 millimeter there. Alright, so I got these 2 screws out. Now I'm going to go ahead and do these 3. 1, 2, 3. Pop them out. The bolts out. This recoil just pulls straight up off and just let it hang out back there somewhere. No big deal. This way you can get to everything up here. 2 pulls out. Now you got 2 7 millimeter bolts right here and here. Get them out. Take this air filter cover off. It's got 2 pins. Just slides right off. Now there's a hose clamp here. You just squeeze it with your pliers. Any pliers will do. You just grab it and get it on off of there like that. And then you grab the fuel line, give it a little twist back and forth to break it free, and then it should come right off. Have yourself a container ready to drain it with. Your water bottle. Now there is a little bit of water condensation, like leftover droplets. So if I get a little bit of a puddle in there, it's just what was in here. But what I'm looking for is bad gas or a bunch of water. This looks fine. It looks like brand new gas in this. So this is good. If it's really yellow, that means old gas. Or water would settle right to the bottom. And I've had it mostly water come out of these. Got all the gas out of that. We're going to pull this straight off. Like that. Now we're going to go with the top one first. We're going to go, it's like an S turn. So you kind of have this pulled up like that. And you're going to pull it, bring it over like this. And it'll pop right out. Boom, like that. And then this one is an S turn. It goes this way. Pops right out. Boom, done. Easy peasy. Alright. Now we got 2 7 millimeter bolts on the bottom, but before that, go ahead and blow this all off with air, get all the dirt off of it, or use carb cleaner, just rinse it all off. So you just got to force your screwdriver in between. Like I've already gotten it in here. You use both hands, hold it tight, and you just wiggle it until it gets in there. And then you can just pry this, just give it a twist and it'll pop that bottom cover right off. And then same with this pin, you just get your screwdriver under there, pop it off that side, pop it off that side, get them both lifted up. You got them both loosened off there, just popped off. This whole thing will lift right up. Careful, don't lose your needle valve or your pin. Just keep it all over the table so it doesn't drop off. Needle valve you need to make sure is perfectly clean on the tip. A little rub on the pants will always shine it up pretty good. And it goes right inside the float like this. No big deal. This is the main culprit right here. This is what's usually wrong with the carburetors. That jet right there is dirty. So we're going to take our screwdriver, get it underneath that jet, in between that black plastic and the white, and give it a twist and it'll pop off. Gotten it to pop up, it'll lift right on out of there, no problem. So you see, it should be able to see right through that. You can kind of, but not really. I mean, it's kind of clogged up. So let me go get my acid. This is 14 karat gold testing solution. Again, I'll put this in the description below. If you're on a mobile device, there's a down arrow next to the title. Click on that, that brings you to the description. Wear gloves, wear safety goggles. This shit will burn. If you get it on your skin or in your eyes, be calm, get to the closest water, and rinse it out with water. It kills it right away. Just don't panic and run into a wall and knock yourself out, because then you're knocked out, and this is blinding you as you're knocked out. Alright, so cap off 1 or 2 drops right in there. I've tried all the other acids. They are either too strong and melt the jet right out of it, or they're too weak and don't do anything. I've ruined it. $200 carburetors where I've melted the jet out of them, and you can't buy just the jet on some of these. Not this one per se. This one's not a $200 carburetor. It's a $35, $40 carburetor. But I've had, you know, generator carburetors that you just hard to find, and you can't get the jet, and it melted right out, and it cost me a pretty penny to fix. Then we're going to go ahead and put this upright like this, and we're going to put a couple drops in this, and then a couple drops in this side too. That'll get it down in the back side there, to the back side of the jet. Let it sit there and simmer. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and gently rinse this out to get the acid out of it. We don't want any backsplash or anything weird like that happening where it gets in our eyes. It's going to be nice and gentle. Once we've got it all rinsed out really well, then you can apply full force pressure. And do it all sides. If you get this carb or brake cleaner, I use brake cleaner or carb cleaner, whatever is cheapest, as long as it's got the straw on it. Whatever is cheapest in the auto parts stores is what I use. If you get that in your eyes, it's gonna burn like crazy, but it is not gonna blind you. You're gonna feel like your eyes are melting out of your head. But it's just as it's evaporating off, it freaking hurts. So if you force your eye open, it'll evaporate quicker, and the pain will go away faster. As soon as it's done evaporating, you're fine again. You know, eye's a little bloodshot, but it hurts. It doesn't bother me anymore. I get it in my eyes so many times now. You know, explains the LASIK surgery I just had to have. All right, now I'm gonna go through and rinse this out real good. And now, I don't know if it's not gonna focus in. Whatever, you can see it's brand new, shiny, like brand new now. You can see right through it. It's in great shape now. So now we're going to go ahead and rinse this carburetor out, make sure there's no debris, paying close attention to where the fuel goes in and out, make sure it goes through both ways properly. We're going to rinse the float needle valve off really well, and then we're going to reassemble. So first, jet faces this orange rubber gasket here. Goes straight down in, push it till it clicks into place. Goes. You'll feel it click. Then the same with the needle valve. And get that in. It just sits in this float like this. And then, hold on. Lay it right down in. Now you can push this pin right through the float. Like that, and then this will push down and click in both sides. You heard 2 clicks. Both sides got to click in. Now if you blow through here with this upside down, it shouldn't let any air through until you lift this up. It should be perfectly sealed. As long as no air is going through here, then no fuel will make it through there. So just give it a quick blow on that, make sure that it's not going through, you know. Then the bowl, I give it a good rinse out. This little dip has to go over that jet like that. So that's where that's going to go. That's the only way it'll fit. It will not go on the other way. and then it's the two long 7mm to hold the bowl on in place. Over and check the mouth, make sure that this white ring is in it and the O-ring is in it. I'm going to pop them out because sometimes they stay on the lawnmower and I want you to know what to look for. Sometimes they'll be on this intake still when you take the carburetor off. You have to pull them off the intake. O-ring and the white keeper have to come off the, come on you, there you go. Have to come off. And then you saw it was here before, but take it and stick it down in, O-ring down in, get it nice and firm all the way down in there, perfectly lined up. White keeper goes on top and just push until you hear it click, or until you feel it click, one or the other. There it goes. And then now that's in place like it's supposed to be. And now you'll get a good seal. Oh, look, that's not all the way down still. Just trying to be a pain in the butt. It's in there now. Now it's on there the way it's supposed to be. Alright, so we're going to do our throttle arm first. It's going to be this guy here. I'm going to stick it back on this hole back here. It's going to be a pain in the butt doing it with one hand. But if I can do it with one hand, you can do it with two. Get it lined up in there like that. And then it just twists straight on. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Twist straight on so that's in working order. And then the choke arm is next. We're going to go right in here with that. I'm going to need two hands for that one. So you just get it stuck in there like that. And then your choke is set up too. Then you just get this back hole lined up. And this little clip pin right here line up in this slot. And this will push all the way back right in there nice and snug tight. And you're ready to go there. Alright, before we hook up our gas tank, I'm going to use air to blow out whatever's in the bottom because it can get dirty in there. And that's the screen right there. That's the filter basically. So you want to get all that. I use air to blow it all out. You can just pull this gas tank right up if you need to. And you can see it just comes right on off. And you can use whatever you need, garden hose or whatever. Rinse it all out and just make sure it's completely dry. You know, you can put it upside down, whatever, but make sure that there is nothing else in there. I would even use, I would say better than water, I would use a little fresh gas. Just rinse it out and then dump it out. But you got to let it get completely dry before you put it back on. Me, I'm just going to use an air hose. It's much easier that way. See what it looks like in there now. That's better, huh? Alright, now we got that done. Hey Robert. That done, we rehook the hose. All the way on. Hose clamp. Back on. Now we're going to go ahead with the air filter cover. It's going to be two 7mm bolts on each side of this round piece here and here. I'm going to go ahead and put them on. Tighten them on there. You'll see that there's pins on the back on both sides that go right in. And then just tighten it right on. Put this back hose on. We're going to go ahead and put a little gas in there now, just to make sure it's not leaking anywhere before we get too far on this job. Just, you know, just enough to cover up that screen area. Alright, and then you're just going to watch this hole right here for gas to come out. Gas comes out means your needle valve is leaking underneath your float, and you have to pull it out and clean it again. She would have already started leaking. She's good. Alright, so now we're going to go 8mm here and here. Go ahead and put the recoil on. Oh, come on, you get your butt over. 3-bolt. There's the shafts on them. These 3 8mm. Pop them in place. Tighten them down. Gasket can go on. Air filter. You see it still didn't drip or anything, so you're definitely good to go. Cover back on. Fire it up first pull like it should. Alright guys, this helped you out in any way, shape, or form. Give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I'll put the acid in the description below. I'll put the carburetor and the air filter in the description below. If you guys got any questions, message me. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. If you want to do any advertising on my channel, message me. I'll be more than happy to have you there too. Peace.